8 generations, and we still did not get to Africa in 8 generations.
That's a damn lie, Uncle Tom. Relax. Hold on.
Hey, y'all have clicked the LFR family video again. And if y'all have not heard yet, I don't know if y'all checked out Uncle Tom, the actual documentary, the full documentary that's now on YouTube. They put it on YouTube for free now for everybody to be able to watch the entire documentary. And guess what? I'm on the intro.
This is good.
Yes, I am on the intro along with some other reaction channels. So shout out to all the other reaction channels who made the intro of Uncle Tom. I think this is amazing. Shout out to Larry Elder and everyone who's involved in that. So, all right. So what we're about to check out right now, it's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. And I just want y'all to hold on to your seats. Let's get it going. And if you respond or comment about a particular moment in the video, if you wouldn't mind putting a timestamp there, that would be amazing. That way I can go exactly to that point and know what you're talking about and be able to respond to comments. All right, let's go.
Africa is a developing country. It has some of the top 10 developing nations in the whole wide world. We're the richest continent on this planet.
Still going.
What person are you? So you're telling me you have not?
Am I not black enough now? I'm not an African American. I'm an American. Okay, and I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Africa. There's no better country to be a person of color than America. And if you find a better country, I would love to hear about it.
Do you hear the stupid questions you say sometimes?
I don't think it's stupid to try to get him a date.
Yeah, we're actually here trying to get me a date. Hey, you want to go?
I'm not into maggots, so no thank you.
I'm a maggot? Is it because I'm black?
No.
She said, I'm not into maggots. Are you freaking kidding me? Maggots? Wow, bro, because he got on a MAGA hat. She said maggot.
Really, you're going to play the black card with me?
Why is he a maggot?
A maggot is a Trump supporter. He's a maggot.
So wait, so Trump supporters are maggots? That's interesting. Why is that?
Because you're supporting a orange in the office who is defunding Medicare, a lot of insurances, a lot of even food stamps.
He's defunding food stamps? You know, that was actually Ben Carson that was slashing the food stamp budget.
Ben Carson's
actually a black guy.
Just because he's black, just like you, does not mean that he fights for the cause. He's actually you're not helping, you're hurting the cause.
How am I hurting the cause?
You're supporting someone who is making it harder for people to adopt, making it harder for people to be themselves, making it harder for the foster care system, making everything harder, making school harder, making life harder.
I hope the young lady backs it up. I really hope she backs it up. She seemed to be ready to fight. Now, when I see Caitlyn pull up on people and they don't have a whole lot to say, or they have a bunch to say, but they don't know how to communicate it properly, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, Caitlyn about to wash them, you know what I mean? But this is interesting because she has her coworker, I don't know who the gentleman is, but the black gentleman with her, the American gentleman with him, listen, that's for description. The black gentleman, all right? He's an American. But if we want to describe him, I don't know his name, so I'll call him black guy with the MAGA hat on. But I'm glad that she's able to stand on her. This way, they can go back and forth with an intellectual conversation. I really want to know how this goes. So far, the young lady is off. He makes everything harder. He makes this harder.
You said Trump was a I want you to give me an example of how Trump was a racist.
African country and as an African, yes, he did. Do not put words in my mouth.
He didn't say that.
I'm not talking to you.
You're putting.
No. Talk to me. What countries did he call holes?
A whole of
Disrespectful as hell. You'll get what you want if you communicate properly. Your attitude will not, like everybody that's just standing there smiling at you right now. They're smiling at you right now because you're putting on a show. Look at all these people. They can't wait for that young lady to say something else disrespectful, do something else disrespectful, because to them, you're just putting on a show. But this young gentleman across from you and a young lady across from you holding a microphone, they actually mean well. They want to start a discourse that could actually educate the people who are watching. So it will serve you well if you just treat them the way that you would like to be treated.
West Africa, and not to mention the Muslim ban is mostly
There's no Muslim ban.
There's no Muslim ban.
There's no Muslim ban.
So
No. Let me explain. Let me explain something to you.
No,
please. I was respectful and listened to you. Please. Okay, the ban was not on Muslims. It was on people from certain countries. Now those countries had high, but everyone in those countries is not a Muslim. So it wasn't a Muslim ban. It was a ban based on geographical location, not religion.
But you said
one single one of those countries.
the majority Muslim countries weren't even included on that list. If it was a Muslim ban,
Let's go back to the countries comment. You said he called some countries holes. Let me ask you something. Does most of Africa have running water and plumbing?
Listen to me. As an African, Africa is a developing country. It has some of the top 10 development nations in the whole wide world. We're the richest continent on this planet.
The contents of the world by GDP per capita. Number one, world average 10,000 GDP. 10.300 GDP in 2016. North America 37.477. Africa looked like it's on number 7. You said number 1.
Have you ever been to Congo?
Oh my God.
No, I'm serious. Have you ever been to Congo?
My friends are from Congo, but guess what?
So have you been there?
Yes, I've been there
so
with them.
So you've been to the DRC, so you know that the DRC is by definition
Do you know why
exactly
that is?
what he said.
Do you know why
it
that is?
doesn't matter why. The question was whether or not it was true. And the answer is yes, it was true. So it wasn't just telling the truth.
It's not true. It matters because do you know what's making? Do you know what coltan is? Do you know what talc is? All those little mineral resources in our phones, makeup, lights, everything comes from Africa. But guess what?
And they can't afford clean water.
oh, come on.
I'm talking. I'm not done. Do not silence me.
You said they were rich.
No.
They could afford clean water if they were rich.
That is absolutely the truth. Now, you're saying all these other things. Now, we get it. Everybody, there's people out there who talk all the time about the black particles that are inside of the phone. We wouldn't be able to have the phone if it wasn't for those pieces that come from Africa and all this other stuff. And it's usually being spoken about by people who want to create the narrative that Africans are the grand supreme. So that makes African Americans the grand supreme over everyone, and that's why she's saying this stuff. But she's talking so loud, and she just want to get her point across that she's not willing to listen.
I do have to say, you said you lied about Trump. I am in this.
I'm saying it was true. It's terrible, and we should help them, but they're not developed.
Go to Africa.
I have to say, Joel, I have to say,
I'm the president of an organization called ASA, African Student Association.
So you're not African American.
I am African American.
Are you African or are you African American?
I'm the literal definition of African American.
So are you an American
I'm born
citizen
in Africa, but I'm an American citizen. So I am an African American. So
then I'm not an African American. Well, I'm not an African American. I'm not.
Do not put words.
See, I'm not an African American. I'm an American. Okay? And I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Africa. And the Africans in Africa sold my ancestors into slaves. Why would I
African American? What?
Africa. You were African American. Don't try to deny it.
No.
So what are you then?
Absolutely not.
am I a European American? Why don't you guys call white people European Americans?
That's spicy white.
Why don't you say European Americans?
Why don't you say African American?
Joel, if you're not an African American, why am I not called a European American?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're
I'm not an
Americans.
African American. I'm American. I've never been to Africa.
Would you prefer to be called European American?
I've traced my ancestry for 8 generations, and we still did not get to Africa in 8 generations.
That's a damn lie, Uncle Tom. Relax. Hold on.
Wow. Okay, this is about to get good. This is about to get real good. He said, that's a damn lie, Uncle Tom. Relax. Okay. Now his name is Joe, so I'm not going to call him the black man with the MAGA hat no more. His name is Joe. So Joel is about to tear this youngling apart because Joel seems to be extremely intelligent, all right? So let's get it going.
We still did not get to Africa in 8 generations.
That's a damn lie, Uncle Tom. Relax. Hold on.
Okay, so
Why would you call him that?
You know Uncle Tom was a hero, right?
Oh, you're not.
Well, you called me an Uncle Tom, so I assumed you would know the story. Uncle Tom was actually a hero who actually died protecting the other slaves that had run away. So you didn't even know that. You thought that was an insult. That's not an insult.
And now he's looking at the other girl beside him like, oh, see, I'm the cool one. He's just talking because he's trying to make up excuses, but whatever. We hear what he's saying, but we'll look it up later. But for now, we got to save ourselves by, faking like we're cool.
Uncle Ruckus.
Touch my stuff.
Did you say Uncle
Don't get it in my
Ruckus?
face.
Don't
That's
touch
a
my stuff.
fictional character from a cartoon. Think of a real person to call me and we can discuss it. That's not a real person.
You know.
It's Black History Month here at the University of Akron, and this is how everybody's treating a Black Trump supporter. Very inclusive, very diverse, very cool and progressive.
So progressive.
I have been stopped on the street with my mom running in my town for someone to call me and tell us that we are and that we should not be there. And then they called us these people.
And that affected you how? How did that affect your wallet? How did that affect your ability to get a
I'm
job?
sorry, how does
how did
that
that affect your ability to exist in this country as a free person?
Because it makes you feel unwanted. It makes you feel like no one wants you.
Wait. So it hurt your feelings, okay? But how did that affect?
I'm sorry, wait, you
How
didn't
did-
say it hurt my feelings.
You said it hurt your feelings.
She literally just now said it hurt her feelings. Like you said it, young lady. You said it. Okay, get her, Joel.
It makes you feel unwanted, so you don't go out for things. It shows you that you don't have the effort, or you don't have what it takes to go up in this country because they don't want you here. You're not good enough as the
So
white people
why would you
around
let
us.
somebody that is so stupid that they would say something so ignorant dictate your behavior in any way,
I'm
shape,
not
or
letting
form?
them to take
Because
it.
we're
I'm
the
telling you,
president
that's
of the
what
United
everyone
States doing
thinks.
it.
I'm not talking to
If
you.
that's what everyone thinks, they don't want you to go up in this country. So they don't give you the opportunities
So
that you need.
then you bust your butt and you show them that
That's
you don't
what I
care what
do.
they think,
That's what every
and you
black
become
person in this
successful.
country does.
And I can
My
applaud
mother-
that.
My mother was a single mother, worked 3 jobs my whole life
Exactly.
to get me where I am now. And you
And it cannot
no,
stop
yes,
you.
it does.
No,
because
it does
she doesn't
not
get the
stop you.
opportunities she needs. My mom worked her ass to get a manager position in a hospital. She has her master's degree and she's going out for her doctorate because not only did other people tell her that she shouldn't do it, but she knew herself that she should. Without
So aren't you saying the same thing that Joel's saying? Like right now, you're touting your mom's resume. Now we need to talk about yours, because if you're a college student, that means you're a young lady. That means you are now trying to create your own lane, right? If your mom was able to do it and she had far less resources than you have. And she also was made to believe that she couldn't do it, but she was still able to do it with far less resources. I don't think these youngins hear what they're saying while they're saying it. They just want to say it so bad. And then they just have their friends on the side of them ready to hoop and holler every single time they say something that seems like, woo, we got you. We got him, y'all. High five. Woo.
without getting the opportunities that she wanted herself. So she did go out and bust her butt. But
So
that
you're
does not
telling
mean
me-
that does not mean that everyone didn't put her down along the way.
But they didn't stop her, and that's what I'm saying.
But she
Racism is
46
not
and
a
just now
significant
getting to where
issue
she
enough
is.
to stop you.
Are you what?
It's not gonna.
It's not a significant enough issue to stop you. He was clear with that. And look at her face. She got paused for a minute. Then she said, what? But come on. Listen.
You're
stop
saying
you.
50 years. She has gone out for 50 years. That has not stopped her.
It hasn't stopped her. You said she's still
What
going.
person for you? So you're telling me you have not gone
Am I
through
not black
racism.
enough now?
You're telling me you have not gone through any racism in your life.
You didn't say that.
None. You've never gone through
I said I'm
anything.
not an African American. I didn't say I wasn't
So
black.
what are you?
I'm an American.
No, you're an African American.
So sorry.
Okay. No. The argument. I'm sorry. That was my red herring that time.
I just want to say that
So the issue is, you said that was significant enough in America to stop you from being whatever you can be, and it's not. It's not. Do you want me to tell you something? When I started my company, I have a company with 150 employees. We gross millions of dollars a year, and we cut trees down.
Hey, don't ask him a question. Listen, learn something. God dang it, you're at college right now. Young man behind her, black too. You're at college right now. Listen to this dude right here. He's trying to give you something to go forward with. Like if you don't live off of that victim mentality that you're living off of, then you'll be able to move up much faster if you just shut up and listen.
If you have your own company as an American man, I won't even call you an
can
African
call me a
American.
black man.
You're a black man. Do you try and put more effort into employing more African Americans than white males?
I actually employ a lot of Mexicans.
Okay, so do you try and go out your way to employ more people that you feel are underrepresented in the country?
No, I employ people that I believe will do the best job. It's to employ people based on their skin color.
It's not, because you definitely just told me that America does not try to put down people who you don't think has the ability to do certain jobs.
I didn't say that, but I believe that there's no better country to be a person of color than America. And if you find a better country, I would love to hear about it.
I can tell you that there's many countries, Canada. You can go into multiple multilingual.
So why are there more black millionaires in the United States than in Canada?
What? I don't know.
I mean, you brought it up. You said better. So now let's start talking about the better. Are they richer there? Are they happier there? Do they have stronger families there? What exactly are they doing there to make them better?
Probably population.
You can definitely.
How about you look
No,
at
even
the
percentage of the population. Yeah.
I'm just telling you that it is very hard to go up in America, being not of the white race.
But what I'm saying is, just because somebody says something rude to you, like calls you the N-word, that does not affect your ability to make money.
It affects everyone else's mindset.
But
That's
when you
everyone
go through
else's
depression,
mindset.
that affects you. Going through depression.
Dude, are you black? He's talking to somebody that's been called the N-word. Okay, whoa. Have you been called the N-word, and has that slowed you down? Is that what that is? Bottom line is, every single one of these people right here, look at all these people. I don't care what their color is. Every single person in this frame that you can see is going to have it difficult in order to succeed, because success is not handed to you. Success is worked for. Success is bled for. You got to actually put in that daggone sweat equity in order to attain success. I don't care what your color, what your complexion is. I don't care who you know or anything. But if he's talking specifically about being called the N-word and still being able to achieve something great, then young man, why are you talking? Why are you talking? You're trying to assume that black people go through these things and they should feel down and they should feel like victims and they should feel like they're behind, when you don't know this.
I didn't say depression doesn't affect you. I'm saying it's not going to stop your ability to make money in the United States.
The thing is, if that's what one person, no, you're not giving up.
But not everyone.
But if that's what one person thinks about you, that's what multiple people think about you.
That's
and
not
it's hard
true.
to be
America is not a country today than it was 50 years ago. America is the least that it's ever been at any point in history, and is more or less dead, and the only people that keep it alive because they want to make money off of it.
Okay.
So I'm confused. So you're saying is only around to make money? That's it?
People keep racism around today to make money, yes.
How is that it?
How does the media not pit us against each other? They tell us that the police are killing us. When you look at statistics, it's not true.
That's if people do their research, and that's right. But
Really? Tell me how many people were shot and killed by the police in 2017?
No, but the problem is, I have experienced
9 unarmed people.
And
explain it to me. Explain your situation.
I've been in cuffs 3 times and committed 0 crimes.
African
Discrimination.
American males are
I've literally been.
So they came over and they were like, you know what? There's a black man walking. Let me arrest him.
Correct.
That's what happened.
There's a CVS that was robbed. The description was a black male that was 6'1" with long hair. I don't have that long of hair. I got arrested. Was in cuffs for 2 hours. 2 hours. Had to have all my information decided, ran and everything. And after 2 hours, they finally figured out I wasn't 6'1" when I'm 5'10". Yes.
And that's because of.
Yes.
So it wasn't.
Try me.
So it wasn't because you fit the description of the other person.
No, I didn't fit the description. I'm not 6'1". I don't have long hair. It's black. It's because I'm black.
So
that's the second time that has happened.
That was your experience.
Second time.
That was your experience. My experience is
I've experienced a lot of racial discrimination.
I was pulled over 14 times in the last year.
Yeah. And how many times were you in cuffs?
Not a single time.
It does. Whoa. So now what we're doing is we're doing that. What you call it? The victim Olympics. But I've been held down more than you. I'm far more oppressed than you. I was in handcuffs twice. How many times was you in handcuffs? Oh, you was pulled over 14 times, but how many times was you in handcuffs? I'm listening. Because if you don't say 2, y'all, I won. If you don't say 2, I won. You need to say 2. If you don't beat 2, I won. And racism is still alive. Huh? Why are you fighting for racism to still be such a big thing? Dude, we know that there's some dumb out there. We know that there's some racist people out there. But guess what this young man is telling you? This young man is telling you that these people can't hold you back from getting where you want to be in life. They can't. The people that we study on February, specifically in black schools and urban schools, all of them people face far more than we face today. And none of them ran with the victimhood mentality. Well, some of them did. But we are much freer, much more free, and we still want to have this damn mentality. I don't get it.
Pulled over 14 times in the last year.
Yeah. And how many times were you in cuffs?
Not a single time.
I was in it for one, for a speeding violation.
Speeding.
A speeding violation, yeah.
15 times for speeding.
I'm not even gonna lie. I sped 15 miles over the speed limit in 2018. Sat in cuffs for an hour while they checked my car. 100%.
And that's purely because of racism.
What do you think that is?
And how does that stop you? How does that stop you from?
What do you think it is? Like, come on. What do you think it is? Like, come
So,
on. Like,
do you want me to explain it to you?
Yeah. What do you think it was?
Okay, so this is, you're not going to be happy about this, but 55% of violent crimes are committed by African American males.
And so why should I be in handcuffs for committing a traffic violation?
You shouldn't. So I don't know this situation, but I seriously doubt it was just because you committed a traffic violation.
So is that why black man?
So he should
black
all right.
male.
Cuffs for a traffic
Is that?
violation.
I've been pulled over 50. I just told you how many times I was pulled over. I've never once been put in cuffs.
So
and I'm a black man.
Is that
the same
why
as
every
him.
black male is taught from a young age to keep their hands on the steering wheel and don't move a single inch until they come up to your window?
Okay, guys, listen. Okay, listen. Because we're doing all this trying to figure out who's oppressed the most. When we don't want to even face reality that when you cut on the radio, any urban radio, the likelihood of listening to it for an hour and hearing 10 songs about killing each other, shooting at each other, having the most guns, committing the most crime, you will hear a great deal of it on urban radio. Period. So if this is what we're giving the world to see us as, like this is what we're giving them. We're saying there's no other race that does that. No other race that does that. Well, they do it now. There's people who are doing it now, but it's urban communities. It's urban communities. And then we don't even let them down with that. Like it's almost at a point right now. Like I just now checked out another video of Liberty Hangout, and Caitlin was talking to some people about racism, and this young lady was out there repping Black Lives Matter, and Caitlin said, you do realize that black people are killing more black people than anyone right now. And she said, but that's just black murder. That's all that is, black murder. So basically what she's saying is that those black on black murders don't matter. She's saying Black Lives Matter, but black on black murders do not matter. The only murders that do matter is if it's a police shooting a black person. And I need y'all to think about that because that makes absolutely no sense. It's so we're so known for committing crime that it's expected that black people kill each other. It's expected. Think about that. But what we want to do, we want to sit and yell back and forth with another black young man who's doing great in life, who has like $1 million businesses. And rather than get some type of advice from him, some life advice on how were you able to do it and how can I do it? Because the whole reason why I'm here with my book bag on at this university is to find success. You want to yell at him and blend in with your friends and feel more oppressed. Make that make sense.
Do you know what the statistics are for the number of African Americans that shoot police officers?
Is that why? Is that why every young male is taught to keep their hands facing forward as a young age? Am I wrong?
I really don't know.
Am I wrong?
Hang on. One at a time.
I'm genuinely asking you.
What is the statistic?
I'm going to answer your questions one at a time. Can you repeat your question?
Is that why every young male
What is it?
is taught to keep their hands on the steering wheel and don't move an inch until they get to your car?
Everyone should be taught that. You should always keep your
But is
hands on
that
the
why
steering wheel.
specifically?
Because statistically, we've been told that the police are more likely to shoot us because we've believed a lie that police brutality is this major issue affecting
It's
the black community.
Okay.
It happens.
Profiling happens. Profiling happens. It's the job of a police officer to profile.
But racially,
For their safety.
Racially profiled.
I didn't say racially. I said to profile.
So I should be profiled. So if I commit a traffic violation, if I commit a
All right, I'll give you an example right
violation,
now. Right now, do you know who I'm most threatened by right now of this group of people? It's you, because of your body language, not because of your skin color.
what part of his body language?
Where's my body?
Because he's folding his arm and he keeps stepping up to me and he said to try it.
This is what I'm talking about.
But you kept saying try me, and you got in my face. I was genuinely intimidated. I was like, he's acting like he wants to
I'm
go
an
in.
intimidating person. Multiple people know me here. No, I'm not a very intimidating person.
And it's literally 30
I didn't say you were an intimidating person, but I said your behavior is the most intimidating of anybody that's
I'm
around
doing
you.
the exact same
That's
thing.
because the thing is, you're denying the facts. I'm just saying you're denying
We're all
the facts.
doing this. We're
You
literally
can't-
all
you
doing
can't
this.
I'm not intimidated by you at all.
Okay, but it's still 35 degrees out.
Okay, I do have to say one
So
thing
we're all
about
listening
you
to
saying that you're American, just American, right?
Yeah.
So you're technically African American because the definition of being African American is because you don't know your origin of where your people come from in Africa. So
My people come from America.
No, okay.
Where do you think your ancestors come
no,
from?
your ancestors.
They came from America.
Okay, but before that, how far can you trace back your heritage?
I think I'm 39% English, so they came from England.
Okay, what
How
about
do you
the
think
other
they've
percentage?
gotten into-
I think I'm 15% Native American, so they also came from America.
Okay, and then the rest.
And whatever percent black I am, they probably came from some country in Africa.
And that's why you would
But
identify.
why would I not identify as English American or
but you
Indian
know
American?
why most African Americans identify as African American? Because most of their heritage comes from Africa. So since they cannot identify what part of Africa they come from, they identify as African American as a whole. Now me, I know exactly what part I come from in Africa. I'm Kenyan American. That's what I identify as because I actually know my origin. But you can't just diss that part of yourself. And I'm not telling you to diss the Native American part or the English part of yourself, right?
Wait, why would you think I diss my being black?
No, I'm not trying to say that you
call
are.
yourself American.
But you're just like,
But I've never been to Africa. Why would I call myself an African American?
so do you just consider yourself to be black?
I consider myself to be a black American.
Okay.
Because I feel like terms like hyphenated terms like African American divide Americans.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I was robbed of my identity. My ancestors were robbed of their identity. I have ancestors
of
that
the
were
American
slaves.
dream that everyone else should have.
I know the name of some of my ancestors that were slaves.
And that should not affect you in any way, shape, or form.
I'm the fourth generation of my name.
Because that does not
I know
define you.
I know
Why
exactly
not?
who was
You're
a
not
slave in my
defined by
family.
your past.
But you're
That you never experienced.
But then how can you identify as
You are not defined by your past that you've never experienced. I love that he said that. I just now said it on another movie. I mean, another video, because a lot of times we like to adopt the traumas of the stories where we hear of our ancestors. I was about to say adopt the traumas of our ancestors, but nah, we like to adopt the traumas of the stories that we've heard and have been taught about our ancestors. And we think we know. We don't know jack, man.
English American? That's your past.
How can I identify as American? Because this is America, and it's the greatest country on planet Earth.
That's not what he said.
It's not what you said.
He said, how can I identify as American? And not
Yes,
black.
it's your past. You said that's
No, that's my present. I was born in America. I live in America.
But that's your past.
That's my present.
That's your past.
I'm currently living in America.
You were born past tense in America.
No. You were never a slave, okay? You never
That's not
experienced
what I
slavery.
said.
So I'm saying you can't, that is like your, that's not even your past. That's the past.
That's not erase your history.
So saying you identify with your history is different than saying you identify with your past because you never experienced slavery. No one you've ever met has ever experienced
East
slavery.
Africa. Why would I say I identify with slavery?
But that's what you're saying when you say that African
I
American.
said I'm Kenyan American.
I don't identify
not
as a
African
slave. I just
American.
identify that I
So
come
then why
from-
did you say it
No,
bothered you that
Wait, let me finish.
that was part
I
of your
identify that
heritage?
I come from the continent of Africa, and I'm just robbed of the specific area that my heritage comes from. That's
He
what I'm
doesn't
saying when
wanna
I'm saying that I'm
diss part of
African
his
American.
heritage, part
I
of his
can't
history.
identify with a specific culture like many other people that were
You
able
can.
to
You
have,
can
that
identify
are
with
able to
American
go
culture.
through their
But
ancestral
that's
tree
not-
and go find that. I
There's
can't
no
find
American
that.
culture?
America's
My
a melting pot.
ancestral tree cuts off.
Y'all go watch Liberty Hangout, man. Listen. I've talked enough. These young Black Americans feel like it's a requirement to hold on to something as if, okay, I'll put it to you like this. Your culture is important. Your history is important. But whenever you try to use that as a crutch as to why things are hard for you, that's when you yourself give power to those who hate people who look like you. Yeah. Because they're not giving it power, you are. You're the one dwelling on it. You're the one saying, it's hard for me, it's more difficult for me. No, it's not. Because when you go into them daggone classrooms and you gotta do them lessons, it's gonna be just as difficult as for you as it is for your neighbor in front of you, behind you, to the sides of you. And you gotta put in that work. And at some point in your life, and y'all are young, so y'all not gonna change it right away. But at some point in your life, you're gonna have to get rid of that. 44 years old, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have to get rid of that at some point. I was at work. When I was at work, man, I used to always say, why you asking me to pick up the box? Because I'm Black? And I used to say it playing. I used to be playing about it because I'm like, this, like, I'm in here hustling. I'm being paid just like everybody else. I'm getting raises just like everybody else. If somebody else get a better job, yeah, there's rumblings around the office. You only know he got it because he white, right? Nah, I don't only know that he got it because he white. But you can think that though. Feel free. And if that's what you want to hold you back, then hey, because if you're thinking that he only got it because he white, what's that gonna do for you and your confidence when you're trying to get a raise at that job? It's all about doing what you gotta do in order for you and your family to be good. But you cannot play that victim card your whole life. At some point, you're gonna have to get rid of it. And if you're teaching your children to play that victim card, it's whack. It's whack. And everybody should be taught that if they're pulled over by the police, the right things to do and say. Everybody should be taught that. Everyone. Because guess what? Police aren't only white. They're not only white. They're not. They're all different. They're from all walks of life. And they've all faced their own lives. I mean, they faced their own situations. You don't know who they came in contact with that scared the hell out of them, that beat them up before, that almost took their life. You don't know how many of their comrades they lost out there on the field while just working, or people that they lost while performing military duties, because some of them are ex-military. You don't know that thing, but you automatically assume it's because of my race that y'all are treating me like this. But the young man didn't accept accountability one time that he was driving 15 miles over the speed limit. That's why you was pulled over. Now, what happened after that? What happened after that? How did you handle that? Whose car was it? How was the registration? Was everything good with that? Were you by yourself? Did you have anything inside the car? Did you have a good explanation as to why you was driving 15 miles over the speed limit? Were you in the school zone? There's so many things that go along with this, and you just want to say, well, it was clearly because I'm Black. Clearly because I'm Black. These youngins got a lot to learn, man, but it's all good. As long as y'all live, y'all will learn, hopefully. And hopefully you don't have to face anything horrendous in order to learn a lesson, because a lot of times people don't learn until they face an extreme downfall. And I pray that nobody has to do that. But that's something that happens in all our lives, so that we can, I don't know. I think our stories are already written, but you know what I mean? I want to hear from y'all. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual, man. I love y'all.